Chair, by Donald.
His mic is on. His mic is on. His mic is on.
Hello, everybody. If I slip, I'm known well.
Yeah, but I was gonna say we have a furry friend in the audience, and Mayor Busher will bring him up to the podium. And this is gonna be a special day if anybody needs a furry friend on Friday.
It can go with a cat.
Oh my goodness.
I might ask, do you need a furry
I'm
friend?
not home enough. You know that. I'm just never home. I got a third. I am wore out. My mother's.
She said you're
That could be Ward 3. I know. I skipped over that. Yeah, I tried to skip. He's keeping it. Trying to play it off. Yeah, I know.
Mayor, whose dog is that?
Keisha family love.
Oh.
Friday, I think.
Carlson family love.
How are you?
Having the appointed time of 5:30 p.m. arrived, I would like to call the Tuesday, December 12, 2023 Committee of the Whole to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
May I please have a motion to have Alderwoman Conley participate via phone in our meeting today?
The motion, Madam Chair.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The
No.
ayes have it.
Alderman Redpath.
Here.
Alderman Gregory.
Here.
Alderman Williams.
Here.
Alderman Rockford.
Here.
Alderwoman Purchase.
Here.
Alderwoman Notriano.
Here.
Alderman Carlson.
Present.
Alderwoman Conley. Alderman Donelan.
Here.
Alderman Hanauer.
Here.
Madam Chair, a quorum is present.
Thank you, Chair. I would like to accept a motion for approval of the November 28th, 2023 committee meeting minutes.
So move. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Before we move into presentations, we have a furry friend in the audience with Madam Mayor.
Hey.
And she's going to announce what's going on with our furry friend today.
So good evening, everyone. This is Aries, and Aries is a 1.5-year-old male, and he will be available for adoption on our holiday we are having here at City Hall on Friday of this week, the 15th, and we will be having pet adoption from 11 a.m. till 2 in the afternoon. So those of you watching on TV or listening can come see our pet adoption. What a great gift for Christmas. And I think Aries wants to go meet Alderwoman Notriano, don't you, Aries? Yeah, but Aries is available on our holiday pet adoption.
Yeah, Friday's a very special day.
Christmas present.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
You're welcome, thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any presentations?
No, ma'am.
Moving right along. Next, we have ordinances table or remaining in committee. Mr. Clerk, can you please read those ordinances?
2023-443, 2023-537.
Is there anyone who would like to remove any of these ordinances for committee consideration? Moving right along. Now, ordinances for committee consideration.
CWLP 2023-573, an ordinance accepting and authorizing the execution of contract UE 24-10-62 with Central Stone Company in an amount not to exceed $5,180,000 for the purchase and delivery of limestone for the Dahlman Power Plant scrubber for the Office of Public Utilities.
Consent. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-574, an ordinance accepting bids and authorizing contract UE 24-10-68 fuel delivery truck for electric T&D with Wirtz Welding and Tank Service in an amount not to exceed $285,260 for the Office of Public Utilities.
Consent.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it.
Public Works, 2023-575, an ordinance annexing certain described property located at no address assigned former Union Pacific Railroad property to the City of Springfield.
Motion for consent. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-576, a resolution notifying the State of Illinois Department of Transportation that an additional $470,650 motor fuel tax funds may be spent for maintenance of streets and highways under the Illinois Highway Code for calendar year 2024 by the Office of Public Works.
Move for consent. Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
General City Business, 2023-577, an ordinance to increase the number of Class D liquor licenses by one for Los Rancheritos of Litchfield Incorporated, doing business as Taco Joint, located at 710 South Grand Avenue East.
Move for consent. Second.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair,
Alderman Gregory.
Point of Information Corporation Council, can you educate me on this Class D liquor license that we're getting there on South Grand?
What it's authorizing?
Yes.
I would need to look up what the Class D is. I'll get back to you by the end of the meeting.
No problem.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-578, an ordinance authorizing a decrease in the number of Class D lit and an increase in the number of Class I liquor licenses by one for Arlington LLC, doing business as Arlington's LLC, located at 210 Broadway.
Move for consent.
Thank you. Any discussion?
Second.
Thank you.
Donald, 1 second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-579, an ordinance to decrease the number of Class AA liquor licenses by one for RSP Entertainment Corporation, doing business as Sportsman's Lounge, located at 229 West Mason Street.
Consent.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-580, an ordinance authorizing a decrease in the number of Class B liquor licenses by one for Bond Drug Company of Illinois, LLC, doing business as Walgreens, number 05137, located at 1310 South Fifth Street.
Move for consent.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it.
2023-581, an ordinance authorizing additional payment of $50,000 for a total amount not to exceed $100,000 to Clark Baird Smith, LLP, for contractual services of labor relations attorney for the Office of Corporation Counsel.
Move for consent.
Any discussion?
Discussion.
Alderman Redpath.
So is this a contract for permanent employment, or is this,
No, this is we're paying outside counsel to help negotiate our union contracts and until we get a permanent labor attorney in place. And so she's helping negotiate 7 contracts right now and assisted us with completion of the PBPA contract.
thank you.
Any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Clerk, I would like to entertain a motion to suspend the rules and place on first reading agenda number 2023-582, an ordinance regarding the Illinois Paid Leave for All Workers Act for the City of Springfield and amending Chapter 36, Section 36.19 of the 1988 City of Springfield Code of Ordinances.
Second.
Any discussion?
Discussion, please. I just don't,
Alderman Williams?
I'm trying to understand what it actually is changing or doing.
So the only thing that it does, that this particular ordinance does, is it guarantees seasonal, temporary, and part-time workers under 20 hours a week at least 1 day paid leave per year. Now, most of our employees qualify for more. The reason that we're putting this ordinance through is the Paid Leave for All Workers Act requires minimum leave for all workers, but it grandfathers municipalities in that have an ordinance in place that addresses paid leave. Our Chapter 36 addresses paid leave, but in working with the HR department, there's nothing that specifically addresses temporary or part-time workers with their paid leave. So this covers that gap to make sure that we are fully grandfathered in to the Paid Leave for All Workers Act.
Yeah, so this is this in reaction to a recent law, like a new law?
Yes, there's a new law that's going into effect January 1st of 2024. This gets us grandfathered in.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? The ayes have it. Is there, did you just raise your hand?
treasurer's report.
Oh, I am so sorry. Madam Treasurer, can we please have your report?
Thank you, Chair. The Treasurer's Report for the Corporate Fund for the month of November. Beginning balance, $68,155,575. We took in total receipts, $11,848,956. We had total disbursements in the month of November totaling $9,851,566, which left the corporate fund ending balance in the month of November at $70,152,965. The ending general fund balance includes $17,138,693, which is the November ending balance of the ARPA money. That concludes my report, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. I was just a little excited. We're at 5:40. Is there any unfinished business? No unfinished business. Is there any new business? No new business. We have a citizen's request to address the committee, and that we will start with Mr. James Johnson.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, I am Mr. James Johnson. TV 20 knows me as resident. It's interesting how after last meeting, I spoke and some things came out about the police department. So I'm gonna piggyback on Alderman Redpath's comment, and I had a chance to think about it a little bit. And I want to make sure everybody understands that for 20 years, I've been building relationships in this community with the police department and our community. And now I think we're losing some of that relationship due to several reasons, and I won't get into, but I don't think we have that same relationship we used to have with our police department. The community has been very important. And one of our past chiefs, Winslow, was very instrumental in how our community reacted. And Redpath, you're right. We didn't have the violence and the other issues some cities had, but it ain't because what you think. There's some stuff that this horseshoe never found out about. There's an alderman up here that knows that last chief played a major role in being in that community, and there's people in the community that died a lot of stuff down. So I want to make sure we do understand that. It's not just the police, it's the community. Now, I want all you new aldermen and women to really understand the history of our Springfield Police Department. But let me get into what I'm really up here about, since the article came out and it released in PD's body camera. Now, I don't know what any other private conversations been, and I don't know if I missed something, but I'm a little baffled. I'm a little concerned that there was a young black male shot and killed by our Springfield police. Again, for me, I've been around 20 years, so this ain't the first one. But here's another one for me. And I'm going to show my attitude and anger because I've been doing this, but it's out there too. You just don't get it. But I'm a little upset. Now, let me make this clear. We got some great Springfield police officers. We got some real good ones. But it only takes one bad one to make them all bad. That's not because I did it. It's just the way it is. So I'm going to be the first one to stand up for when it's good, when it's right. And Mr. Redpath, no, I've been here for a long time doing this, and I support him when I need to. And when I need to say something, I'm going to say something. But for an officer to grab his assault rifle while training an officer and shoot a young black male, granted, we're going to a juvenile detention center. And if it's a hostage situation, it's even more concerning because I heard no commands on the video. All we saw was 1, 2 shots. Now, maybe that doesn't bother you because it's not your kids, but it's somebody's kid. And yeah, was the kid in the wrong for having a gun? Yeah. But we can't, and I want to say this real loudly, we have mental issue problems in our community with our youth and adults. And arriving on the scene and pulling AR-15s and shooting a young black male or a young white male is just, to me, is not the answer. There got to be some better training. They get paid and they go to training to handle situations like that. I don't want the first reaction to be, oh, let's shoot. Now, if he came out blazing guns and shooting, then yeah, okay. But that's my issue with that. And for us ones who've been around here, I've seen a hostage situation. I grew up one back in the 80s, and it was terrible. Both people died. It was big for this community. If you don't know it, do the research on it. Ask PD about that hostage situation on Gregory Court. I'll never forget it. Now, last thing I have to say, I know, Ms. Lakeisha, this is the only thing I'm going to say. There's a reason why our PD can't do high-speed chases, and there's a reason why we fought against no-knock searches. That's just a few. So thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, James. Next, we have Alice Rainey.
I'm Alice Ramey, and I think y'all know that the police department is part of my family and the fire department. But I do know that I called the police on Sunday morning to have a check on 1216 South Livingston. There is garbage, and it looks like a homeless person pushed it all in there because he didn't want to carry it any longer, and I was scared that he was sleeping in the house. So I had him call, and he came by my house and told me he checked it out and there was nobody there, just the garbage. I turned it into Public Works. I got a 5-minute speech for what to do, and I said, I do know how to do that, so I will do that. Thank you very much. I believe in my police department. I very do, and you know why, as you know. I think they do a good job. I think that sometimes Winslow was what you call a people person police. One that's at your door knocking to see if you're okay. Something like Pittman when he used to walk the streets downtown and the Hayes homes. I don't know if you know him or not, but that's what he did. He knew everything that went on. I think we need to look at the mental illness people. I think we need our officers trained in how to look at what's happening and how they react. I know that Alderman Redpath has taken that course many times. I know several of you might have, but we need that desperately out here with these young kids. And How the young man got the gun, we don't know. And when he shot it, I would think that I would be scared enough that if my kid was in there, I would want to know, okay, if he got hurt or whatever. I know that one of my nephews was in there, and it happened there too. And I was at that Gregory standoff, and I was also at the standoff at Evergreen Terrace, and it's not fun. Guns come out, you're not used to them, and people are talking way loud, not really looking at the situation. I went through the police academy, and I learned a heck of a lot, and I think everyone should go through the policeman's academy. I don't know if they still are doing it or not, but if they are, sign up and go through it and see what they show and what they train these officers to do. And also, I think we need to understand the situation of the people today. It's not like I can go out there and say, okay, Charlie, how we doing? Or do I need to talk to you or what? I have done that in my neighborhood many, many times, even in Evergreen Terrace and Garden Court. I have talked to the young kids and got their answers. But you need to start talking too. We need to start pulling them in and giving them stronger way of doing it. And that's why I like Mike Williams very much, because I've known him before I met Roy Williams. And he is trying to help the kids, young kids, to learn the, respect and learn to know what it's like to be there, and give them an education on the proper way to eat and what you should have to keep your bones strong and your mind strong. And I appreciate that very, very much. And thank you, and you all have a beautiful week. And don't do anything I would do, because I've already done it.
Thank you, Alice. Don't
Thank you,
forget
Alice.
to come and visit our furry friends this Friday.
If I had a fence, I would take that dog. I like that dog.
Thank you. It looks like he lasted through the entire meeting, very quiet today, too. Is there anyone else who would wish to, hey. Alderman Gregory?
Yes, I just wanted to say, and I think it's important for me to say that, I support good community policing at all times. And our police department has, since I've been here, done a great job with community engagement. Yes, we have some situations that both chiefs that I've, worked with have addressed, very quickly, good and bad, even if they had to fire some people. So, absolutely, the situation over there is unfortunate, and we want to make sure that all mechanisms and safety guards are in place so that doesn't happen again, and our officers don't have to be put in that type of situation. Certainly, I'm sure Chief Scarlett, who is not here, has reviewed and going to do whatever they need to do, and training wise. But just even recently, when me and Mr. Johnson, he's outside right now, had our issue. It was a Springfield police officer and a pastor from our community that pulled us together and said, "Hey, you guys cut it out and bring it back." I've been out, white officers, and coming from a whole nother world, I haven't always been comfortable with policing, but, I've been out and, had some times and been in bad moods and things, and one who's known me since high school pulled me to the side and sort of talked to me and stuff and got my head back together. So, this thing with community policing is important, and nothing's going to be perfect, and anytime we have situations, I always try to advise people to go through our process, go through our community, our internal affairs investigations, etc. There is a process for it, and we just got to keep growing and keep working. But I tip my hat off to the Springfield Police Department and Chief Scarlett. When Chief Winslow was leaving, and I love Chief Winslow, I definitely supported Chief Scarlett too, amongst anything that people told me, blah, blah, blah. and my daughter, Harlem, and his daughters is what broke the ice between us because, kids don't care about all this stuff, and it helped us. So we just got to keep working, and I applaud our police chief and his troops, men and women, to keep doing the good jobs that we are. We're going to do the best job we can to supply with what they need, even in the $3 million grant. There's equipment and there's community engagement pieces, some very, very fun things, some things that are really going to continue to bring us closer that we haven't talked about. So that's my spiel for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Alderman Williams.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think the part of this is kind of getting to me a little bit is, I'm not a policeman, so I don't know what type of weapon they should respond with. But what I have told people is, as this has taken place and race comes in and all these other factors, we have to realize that our police are always responding, as the Alderman said, to situations that are already hostile. And if we don't have the training or the know-how or things like that to what takes place, we can't pass just these blanket judgments. We have to do the investigations and find out. But what in particular bothers me about situations is like this is people not understanding of the levels of government and what goes on. Some of this stuff that's going on that's being put on the city is not the city. That is not a city building. That is a county operation. It's called Sangamon County Juvenile Facility. And I just wonder, and he's not out in here, do we go to the county board and ask them how the weapon got in there? I mean, yes, it's our police because our police are doing their job. But I just wish the citizens would think about things like that, because some of the things that I have been dealing with that's been pushed toward this shoe really ain't us. It's really the management of that facility, which when it ain't a facility that's of the city, we need to go to the county building and talk to the county board about how the gun got there and some of these issues. So when citizens get confused like that, I mean, it's our job to teach them the differences, but I think they see that a city cop responded, so therefore everything's the mayor, the city council, the alderman, the city, and that's just not true. And I'm hoping people, take the time to understand, and I understand in Springfield in particular, so many layers of government, and it can get complex to the average citizen. But in this case, yes, it was our cop that responded doing their job. But the problem that a lot of people have been bringing to me, really they need to be taken to the county board and asking management of the juvenile detention center about the weapon, how I got there, and things, and the hostage, that whole piece. And that's all I want to say.
Thank you, Alderman Williams. Alderman Redpath.
Yes, that whole situation was a very unfortunate one. I can tell you that based on my experience and the things I've seen in that video, that officer was responding as he was trained. And it was a textbook response to a situation. It had no overtones of race whatsoever, other than the fact that the young man was an African American. It was very unfortunate. And obviously, none of us want to see anybody in that kind of situation. That police officer didn't go there to kill somebody. He went there to take care of a threat. And it's best that Chief Scarlett address this. I can tell you right now, I've seen several administrations come through this city council, and Chief Scarlett is one of the best we've ever had. I had a lot of respect for Chief Winslow, but Kenny Scarlett is one of the best chiefs we've ever had. He's got a command staff that's second to none. They are very, very well trained, and this situation was very unfortunate. As far as the response of why the city police was at that building, is because it was their jurisdiction. Even though it's a county building, it was still a Springfield police jurisdiction. Same if we would respond to the state. State has some responsibilities, but we still respond to all those things. So it wasn't they were overstepping their bounds or of their jurisdiction, because that just wasn't the case. But any other questions, you need to direct those to Chief Scarlett, because he's very professional, he's very understanding.
Well,
here's
Josh looks like he wants to come up and say a few words.
But that's all I got to say on that. But I just want to clarify the jurisdiction thing.
I think we could answer a few of those questions. It is Sangamon County's jurisdiction. It is their building. There is a state police investigation regarding the firearm being in the building, so we're not going to comment on any of that. The initial call did go out to the county first, and then our officers were requested for assistance, and we were the closest ones, and that's how we ended up there first.
And state was there among other people too.
County was there,
Everybody
state was there.
responds.
We had officers from Sherman that were there. There was a big response, and that's what happens in this community. We have a lot of law enforcement in the area, and when you put out that there's an active shooter in a secure facility, you get that kind of response. And, fortunately, our officers were there to stop that threat very quickly.
Alderman Williams?
Yes, so my jurisdiction comment dealt with the gun being there, not you guys responding.
That gun,
You guys are doing your job. I'm trying to get people to ask those kind of questions to the proper people. I don't think it would be you guys. It would have to be at the county level somewhere where they talk about what's the rules and how the gun get there, how come they didn't search the guy, how the kid get a gun in there. Is that something you guys would answer, or would it be your counterparts?
Yeah, that would not be an investigation we are handling.
Yeah, and I was just making clarity with that. So that's what I mean when I say Sangamon County is the county board needs to deal with that, not the city council.
And in reference to the video, there is some video that's out there on the news. I just want to let everyone know that there is also a video that the chief put out that is available on our transparency page that gives a lot of detail into the incident and how it occurred and a full video account.
Thank you. Moving along, is there any executive session?
Madam Chairman, I ask for executive session to discuss pending and probable litigation
Second.
situation.
And we shall move.
Aye.
All right.
Tom, whoa.
It's not typical that they join. I would need to look at all the specific ones.
Motion to reconvene.
No, you have to wait till the clerk gets here. Let me run this show. I know what I'm doing.
Hold on.
No, you did.
Hold on.
Yeah. May I have a motion to reconvene the meeting?
Yes, I'll make that motion,
moved.
Madam Chair.
Now, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Have a good night.
All right.
Yeah, that's fine.
Watch Red Path, he's the next cop, you know.